let's get started. I've mentioned earlier that this session is being recorded, and the link of the recording will be shared with you later on. Today we have very special guests from Plan B, Erik and Nima. They will introduce themselves very shortly. I'll be your host for today from Solibri's side. And if you have any questions regarding Solibri, you can drop it in the chat and we will get back to you offline. I will send you an email regarding the answer, so don't worry. And today our agenda is going to be a general introduction to Plan B with Nima, and then we will get more in depth about the project and the workflow that Erik and Nima have been using, Solibri Demo, and then Q&A. As I mentioned, don't hesitate to add, if you have questions at any time, just put it in the chat, and we will get back to you at the end of the session to answer some of these questions. And if it was Solibri related question, we can answer it offline, sending you directly an email. Yes, so if we don't have time to address all the questions, don't worry about it. We will give you an answer regardless. Before we start with the session, there are a couple of questions we would like to ask you. The first question is, how often do you use Solibri? So we would like to know the level of Solibri usage among our attendees so that we can give you the best experience. And I see so far we have a lot of advanced users, once or twice a day. Yes, I'm giving more chance for people to answer. And here were your answers. So far the leading are advanced users, but there are people who have never used or don't use Solibri very often, which is great. It's great to have you here. I hope this webinar would provide you good knowledge about Solibri. Let's move on to the next question, which is CDE integrations. So we would like to know, if you're using CDE integrations, which integrations are you using? And oh, okay, there are other, some people are using other CDE integrations. Okay, I'll give chance for more people to vote. All right, 22% or 23% are using BIM 360. Here are the results. Thank you for participating. Yeah, but there are also other CDE integrations. Would be curious to know what they are. So if you would like to drop it in the chat, we would love to know. There is one more question regarding the authoring tool that you use, because we will also be mentioning something during the webinar. Okay, so most of you are ArchiCAD and Revit users. There's also other integrations as well. I see that 70% of you have voted, so I'll share with you the results, which is very interesting. Revit and ArchiCAD are almost the exact percentage. That's great, thank you. It's good to know you and know what you have been using. There's a short delay in the screen sharing, but just give me a second. Yeah, there is some technical difficulty, but until I fix it, I will change the presenter to Nima and Erik so that they can introduce themselves. All right, Nima, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is Nima Poursadigh. I work at Plan B as a digitalization leader. I'm working with organization both strategically and operationally, helping our customers to become or to make more efficient workflows in their organizations and projects. Yeah, so that's me.
Thank you, Nima. You can share the screen.
Yeah, thank
We
you.
can start with the case, the big.
All right, great.
Big
Thank you, Maya. Yeah, I will start by having an introduction of Plan B, and then Erik will take over and go more deeply into the project and the workflows we had there. I hope everybody sees my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen. Looks great.
So we are approximately 40 plus enthusiastic digitalization leaders in Plan B, and we are based in Stockholm, Uppsala, and Gothenburg. And it all started as CAD experts from 2007, and then surely we moved on to become a more lifecycle management company, helping customers to have a lifecycle perspective. To have a lifecycle perspective is truly important for us as a company. So we basically help organizations to building bridges between different phases in a project, and to have an integrated product and process mindset to achieve this goal that we have. We have 4 different business areas: digital transformation, innovation, project delivery, and asset management. They work independently, but also are seamlessly working together to achieve this lifecycle perspective that we have. In digital transformation, we help organizations to find the needs they have to become or to have this digital transformation in a organizationally level. And by having innovative ideas and processes, we can achieve this and then move on to have a reliable project deliveries in the projects. And least but not, or at least when we come to the last business area, asset management, that's where the maintenance of the delivery, the end delivery will take place. We have been involved in many different various projects, of course, and I have just a few of them that we are truly proud of that I want to present. And one of them are UEI or EU Horizon to 2020 programs, which basically is to have this climate adaptation, including transformation of societies and smart cities, which is truly interesting. And also another project that we have been involved in is ASHMIN EU project, which includes 9 EU states basically participating and trying to figure out how can we work with digital twins and how can we have a more productivity, and also how can we work with safe levels in construction sites, because we see that digital twins are truly an important thing for all of our customers, and we have a high demand of working with IoT in the models and so on, and that is a really important thing for us to have this innovative mindset to work with these projects. Some common challenges among our customers. I mean, there are a lot of challenges that we that we have in the project, but this is just some of them. And I mean, time-consuming routines, difficult to follow up and compare, non-value adding operational work, and so on and so on. And this is where we come in as a company and try to solve all of these challenges that the projects and the organizations are facing. And we always say that, I mean, it should be easy to do right, basically. And to do right, we have to see what kind of transformation are we doing. So we have two sides of a transformation: the technical side and the people side of change. And to make a real good process and have a digital transformation, we have to integrate these two sides together, because in the end, we have to basically bring the sides together with harmony, and make it easy for the people that are going to achieve and make the process. Basically is the people. They have to have the, how would you say, have the have the harmony and have a good feeling that they can meet up with the technical side of the change. Truly important thing for us to help our organizations. This slide is quite interesting. That's why I just want to present it, because it's an illustration inspired by research of economist Joseph Schumpeter. And what we see here is a statement that refers to idea of technical advancement. And we see that the technical advancement, the development of technology is increasing at an exponential rate, while the rate of the organizational development are increasing. And how can we close this gap? And that's what we want to achieve at Plan B, to close this gap and to help our customers to understand their needs and what they need to do and how they need to adapt to become more data-driven organizations. And this is often what we see in the industry, that we have this many silos that we work in, and usually some of them are connected to each other, but some of them are not. In the best cases, they are connected, so that we have a seamlessly data-driven mindset. But the goal is to connect these dots with open CDE environments that we truly advocate for, and open standards and so on. And I mean, this is the way that we work to create workflows for our customers that enables this, to connect these dots between these different silos. Oh, sorry. And as I said many times, we are a data-driven company, and we know, all of us know that with working with BIM and VDC, we can achieve a lot of good stuff. But truly, the data is one of the highest priorities. And with the data, we can do a lot of things to make it more easy for our customers and organizations to both visually see how we are working and what we are doing in the projects. And some of those examples are, how can we work with data to make better scheduling, quality, risk, environmentals, and reviews, which is truly important in a project, requirements, amendment and additional work, and costs. So that's what we will ensure, that we will have the mindset to have new innovative processes for making the change to become more data-driven organization. And that will start the new phase for a digital transformation. Thank you. That was just a short intro for Plan B. Back to Erik.
Thank you, Nima. You can mute yourself. We will move to Erik.
Yes, my name is Erik Lindström.
Erik, can you please
I'm sharing
change,
the here.
yes, it's in under show, so you can choose to show. Yes, perfect. Looks great. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Erik Lindström. I have been working as a BIM coordinator at Plan B for approximately 7 years, I think. I'm going to talk a little bit about this project, Kvarteret Korsningen. Let's see there. Kvarteret Korsningen is the world's first climate-neutral police office building, and it's located in the central of Örebro, which is the 7th biggest city in Sweden. The building has a wooden load-bearing structure and is also Örebro's first wooden office building. And it has been certified according to the new certification, Sweden Green Building Council's Noll CO2, which translates to 0 CO2. And the goal for the building is to have a net 0 carbon dioxide emissions throughout its lifetime. The building was designed by Utopia Architects, who won the land allocation competition that Örebro held. And then they chose Castellum as the executioner of the project. The construction started in summer of 2020, and the building was completed in the summer of 2022. And the project's climate neutrality is achieved mainly by building with wood instead of steel and concrete, which is traditionally used. And by using wood, emissions are approximately 40% lower compared to a traditional construction. There. And just a short about the organization. In 2016, Örebro municipality launched the pilot project We Give the Architect the Power. And the project was a contribution to the debate on how Örebro can build faster, create smoother processes, and at the same time achieve a better end result in their building project. So instead of assigning the land reservation to a real estate company or a construction company or a developer, they chose to give it to an architect firm. And then Utopia chose to collaborate with partners for financing and development of the project. And in the project, we had this workflow where we had model deliveries to BIMsync that we used as a BCF and IFC server. And then the models were synced into Solibri, where I, as a BIM coordinator, could perform collision checkings. And then I created issues that I synced up to BIMsync. And then before the coordination meeting, all the designing parties could review the issues before the meeting, and if we had any important issues to discuss, we could tag them, so we had really good meetings. And the coordination meetings were held in BIMsync, so everyone could access the model and the issues there. And this was, as Nima talked about earlier, that you usually work in silos. Here is an example how we connected all the different parties and different groups in the process, and had the meeting, so we had a smooth way to solve issues and discuss issues. And after the meeting, we documented the issues and who was supposed to solve it, and then all the design parties could access the issues and focusing on solving the issues. And then we had a new model delivery to BIMsync. And throughout this process, everyone that was in this design phase could comment and collaborate live in BIMsync for a better process. And in the project, as I said, we used BIMsync as a BCF and IFC server. So all the models were uploaded to BIMsync, and then you had a BIM model that everyone can look at. And we also had all the issues in BIMsync. And with the new feature that Solibri has developed, the CDE integration, we can have a direct sync between Solibri and BIMsync. So I can download the models directly into the program, which I will show later in the demo. And also the BCF live connector did wonders, because I can download and upload issues directly from Solibri to BIMsync and the other way. And the designing team could use their design tools to access these BCF and IFC. Both Revit and AutoCAD has plugins for BIMsync, so you can sync in the issues with the BCF connector between the program. And then I'm just going to take some examples from coordination, and some challenges that we faced in the design phase. We had a wooden load-bearing structure, and this was first time for me actually. And with wooden beams, for example, you only have one shot to make it right, which is different to concrete, where there is possibility to make holes after concrete is cast. But this made us to have a very good coordination before the building was built, so we had everything right from the beginning. And also we had big glass facades. And this was a challenge for the energy coordinator, but he could use the model to make the energy calculations for the high climate goals in the project. So the model was really good in this phase. And also a big challenge was the heating and cooling system in the building. And this challenge was also due to the high climate goals, and also to the high architectural demands in the project. As I mentioned earlier, that the architect had great influence in how the design was made. And now I'm gonna show some demo from Solibri. I'm just gonna change the screen and go directly into Solibri. And here we have the project. As you can see here, I have various models in IFC that is directly linked to BIMsync with the CDE integration. So you can see here, for example, the architect model is version 36. And to achieve this, I just go to File and Integration, and then I connect with the CDE integration to BIMsync. And here I can open and choose which models I want to have in the project. And then I already prepared, so they are already loaded. And in the project, I'm just going to show really quick. Because of the wooden load-bearing structure, we had a lot of wooden beams, as you see all the yellow here. So we had a really challenging time to achieve a good coordination, and we had a lot of collisions between, for example, ventilation and wooden beams. And here is an example that was really good, that we had everyone in the same room when we had the coordination meetings. For example, we had the delivery of the wooden framework, so we could easily make changes and adjustments that was needed to build the building. And the checking I did in the building was really just some just basic collision work. Here I'm going to show you my workflow, how I perform the collision checking. I have where I run the collision control between the installation, and then I just go through all the results and validates which one is accepted and which one is rejected. And then I go to the checked components, and then I just shows the one that I think we had to look at. I put them in my selection basket, so I can go to the communication panel, communication tab, and then I make, here I have for one floor, so I can switch between all the models and just the collisions that I want to look at. And from here we can see, for example, this is I have uploaded some older models, so we can actually see some collisions. And here, for example, we had this collision between the cable carrier and the ventilation duct. And then I just, for all the issues, I create new slides and choose which one I want to have in the talk about in the meeting. And then I go back and I make all the models visible, update the slides, and here I also could make some markups just to make it more clear which issues we were talking about in the meeting. And then I just name the issue garage, and a short description what the problem is. And then I assign the issue to what party I think was responsible for the collision. And then when I upload them to BIMsync, the design team can collaborate. And then, for example, this maybe wasn't an electrician, so the electrician's fault. Maybe a ventilation need to put a move, but then they can reassign the issues in BIMsync. And many issues maybe could be solved without taking them up in the meeting. So, but some issues maybe we had to discuss and talk about. And then the designer can choose if we want to talk about this in the project meeting. So we use the stage here to show which project or which issues that we need to talk about in the meetings. And then I just with the BCF Live connector, I can just upload issues directly to BIMsync, and I can also download issues from BIMsync, so I can see, for example, here is one issue that has been solved earlier. The sprinkler was going directly through the wooden beam here, so I can then mark them as resolved. And I think that pretty much sums up the demo. So I can pause my screen sharing. Yeah.
Yes, Thank you so much,
And
Erik.
Maria, you can take back the
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, that's great. Thank you so much, Erik. Erik, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good. That's good.
Yes.
So we can take this chance for our attendees to start dropping questions. If you have questions for Erik or Nima, or for Solibri in general, but please specify in your questions who is the question for. Just give me a second. Okay, now you should be seeing my screen. Yes, so we can move on to some of the questions. Thank you so much, Nima and Erik, for this presentation. I was thinking that, oh, it looks like you cannot see my screen yet. How about now? Okay, yes, perfect. So if you have any questions, please send it in the chat. And we have the first question for Erik. So how did you do that? This model in Solibri have versions. And if you want me to share the screen with you, I'll gladly do that.
Okay, the version is with the CDE integration. So it's the new feature that is with Solibri, that the version. So it follows the version of the models that it's uploaded to BIMsync. So if, for example, the architect uploaded one model, the first model, that will be version 1, and then when the architect uploads the second model, I just can go into BIMsync or into Solibri and then right-click and choose Update Models, and then it will fetch the latest model and then update the version. So it's the CDE integration doing its magic.
Great. Thank you, Erik. We have another question that when creating the BCF, do you also drop the components in the issue?
Yeah, the components are how do I say, attached to the issue. So the view I make in Solibri is exported into BIMsync, so I can see the same things, and then maybe if I need to elaborate on what the issue is, I can do that in text form. I don't think was that answer of the question.
We hope this answered your question. Okay, we're receiving some questions right now. Just does it also work the same way against BIM collab?
I haven't worked with BIM collabs. I don't think I can answer that question. I think I'm just going to check really quick here. The servers I can connect to is BIMsync, Builder, Com, and Aconnex that I can see in the menu in Solibri. But the BCF Live connector can connect to the BIM collab, I think. Yeah.
Yes, so if this didn't answer your question, just send us the question again and say that it's for Solibri, so we can also consult with our customer success managers.
Yeah.
But thank you, Erik. It's great to understand from your perspective as well and your experience. And then there is, how did the primary and secondary structure of the building impact the coordination workflow?
Can you say that again?
How did the primary and secondary structure of the building impact the coordination workflow? We can also get back to this question offline if.
Yeah.
Yeah. No worries. We will get back to this. What requirement do you pose on the consultants regarding the IFC models or the story structure or the BSA BE correct classification, additional P-sets? I'm sending you the question, Erik, so you can also see it in your panel.
Yeah. According to the information requirements in the model, in this particular project, we didn't have any requirements for example, BSAB or information, but when I work with in projects, I always demands for example for the naming of the flooring in the BCF and or excuse me, in the EFC structure. So you have, for example, EFC building should be the building name, and the EFC floor should be according to the flooring name scheme. And furthermore, so you can have like a hygiene factor just using the models. But for information, we had how should I say, a low requirements.
Okay, we hope this answered your question. Thank you so much, Erik. We have one more question. Great demo by Erik. Thank you. Does Plan B also work on the construction phase on the project? Do you work on the construction phase?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, we.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can fill in for that. We work with, for example, production solutions like Dalux, where you can have the model in on site and make, for example, checklists that are connected to different places in the model. And we have also done some 360 photos that you can use for example, when you cast the walls or whatever, so you can see the rebars before you cover that with concrete, so you can follow up, for example, and of course many more solutions.
Thank you. It's good to know. I have a question in Swedish, so I'm forwarding it straight to you. If you can read it, that would be great. I don't want to butcher it. And we're receiving some questions for Solibri. Don't worry, we will get back to you regarding this offline. I don't know if you, Erik, can answer this question. So what is the function of the document API in Solibri?
I'm trying to see the questions. The documents.
Yes.
We use them. We mostly use the model API, but I can, unfortunately, I can't really answer the the question about the documents, but this CDE connection is meant to, so you can sync documents instead of models, for example. But in Solibri we just used models. So I think the use for documents is for another tool. I think the team at Solibri surely can answer that question.
Yes, no worries. Well, no worries. It's good to know your point of view as well, Erik. But I will send you further information regarding this question. I don't know, Erik, if you can see the Swedish question. Yes.
The Swedish question, I think that it's in Germany. So it's.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes, I don't speak either, unfortunately. Does BIM Sync integrate with the BIM authoring tool for both?
Yeah, you can integrate with, for example, Revit or AutoCAD. And there is some standalone features that you can so you can access the issues. I think it's a desktop plugin that you use, so you don't have to. So you can have it side by side with whatever design tool you're using. But in Revit you have this plugin, so you can, for example, if you have an issue, you can go directly to the issue, so you can have the location that is saved in the VCF file.
Works also with AutoCAD.
Yeah,
yeah, with AutoCAD as well. Great. We have a very interesting question regarding sustainability. So, have you used Solibri in connection with this project for sustainability proofs or something like this?
We didn't use as far as I know, we didn't use Solibri like for information takeoffs or any other connections like that. But I know that the energy consultant used BIMsync to see the model and just to make to see areas and such. Because we had the energy coordinator was very good in Excel, for example, but wasn't very experienced with Solibri. So this was a great tool for him, and it was really easy to use without having to install Solibri on his computer, for example. So you just can access BIMsync in the web browser and see the models and see like how big windows are and how sort out how many radiators or ventilation duct or and so on. So it was it was not the primary tool, but it was a great help for him.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Erik. Another question is, so these models with versions are not updated. I think this is a continuation for the first question. Is that the models with versions are not updated IFC. They're updated with this special add-on integration, or is it already in Solibri?
Okay, I think I understand the question. Is the updated models when they are uploaded to BIMsync, then BIMsync adds the version number accordingly to the version that is updated in BIMsync. So there are no extra steps for example, architect to make a version 5 or so. It's just the version tool in BIMsync and the CDE integration. So no no extra steps to make the versions. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, we hope this answered your question. We don't have a question, but we have an interesting comment from one of our viewers that Solibri can make model checks, FCC, for compliance with the needed data for sustainability checking programs. Thank you for this contribution. It's nice to see that we share knowledge both ways.
Yeah, of course.
But we also have more questions coming. So have you tried or evaluated Power BI for BIMsync?
Yes, we have. I think Nima had a slide where he showed the slide with the data-driven examples, and there we have used reports from Solibri to present them in Power BI. For example, you can make a dashboard and see how many issues you have in different rooms or areas in the building. So yeah, we have tried that, and it's really good to present for the project management that maybe not is very, that maybe doesn't want to open the models and see all the issues, but just have an overview how the project is going. So the Power BI has been a great addition to make data-driven decisions.
Awesome. It's good to know. Also, there is there is one more question. I'm sorry, I'm trying to take as much questions as possible.
Yeah.
Is it common to hand over the models to the management phase of the buildings? And if so, what format do you usually deliver them in?
In what was the last?
Is it common to hand over the models to the management phase of the buildings? And if so, in what format do you deliver the models?
That depends on the organization. I have in another project that I've been working in, they only wanted drawings like PDFs, and some maybe want DVG models, and that's depending on what systems the management are using. But our goal is to have as much data as possible delivered. So if you have a good IFC requirements, and then an organization that can receive this data, this delivery, that would be the best in my opinion. So so you have to work closely with the management organization to see what information do they want and what information can they use. So unfortunately, most organizations aren't there yet with a lot of information management requirements or use cases. But that's the goal where the sector is going, I hope.
Exactly.
I just want to add something to that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, please go ahead. Sorry, we cannot hear you.
Hello?
Yes, now.
Yeah, now.
Yes.
IFC, I totally agree with Erik. Since it is open standard, that should absolutely be delivered as a file. But also the native, where the IFC came from, can also be truly important. For example, if it's Revit or ArchiCAD, for it to be delivered also. I mean, as Erik mentioned, many organizations aren't really there to handle, to take care of a Revit or ArchiCAD file. But from a life cycle perspective, or for reconstruction of the building, it's really important to have the original format of the file also. I mean, those together will solve a lot of things. So yeah.
Perfect. Yes. Thank you, Nima. Sorry, my voice is disappearing, but we still have this question that are you also planning or already working on updating the BIM model in this particular project with the information needed for facility management?
Not in this particular project, so no.
Okay. What about the benefit of doing the collaboration meetings in BIMsync and not in Solibri? So, what was the reason that you chose BIMsync for the collaboration meetings?
It was if you use Solibri, you have all the information is in Solibri, and then you have to upload a model to somewhere, and then the other one needs to download it and access it and add comments and so on. But with BIMsync, you have one single source of truth, which is really important. So you have all the issues and all the comments is uploaded to BIMsync, and from BIMsync you can then download the updated issues to, for example, Solibri or to AutoCAD or Revit. So you have it like in one place, and you can. It's a more tighter process for the comments, and you can always access BIMsync in a web browser or in your mobile phone. So that was the main reason why we chose to use BIMsync.
We hope we would update Solibri to make this even easier for you. Also, there is, thank you, Erik. We have 2 more questions. Are you looking at BIAST BIM for basic requirements of the IFC model or any other source? I think this is BEAST. But I can send you the question so you can take a closer look at it.
Yeah, the BEAST. Yeah, we're looking at the basic requirements from BEAST for the model, and as Nima said, it's important to use these open formats, and I think you should choose to have try to as long as you can use the built-in property sets, for example, in IFC models and so on. So you have like you follow the open standards.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you so much, Erik. And one last question is, did all the project participants work on the same authoring platform? Usually there's trouble starts when the participants use different authoring tools.
I think we use different tools. Yes, we did, and it was really a seamless project. So we didn't have many problems that was due to different programs actually.
Okay, okay. It's good to know that you didn't face any troubles, even though you've been using different platforms. So everyone had to use their preferred authoring tool.
Yeah, and because of we worked with IFC and all the participants could use IFC in their tools, that was a really great success.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. It's really good to hear. So thank you so much. Those were all the questions. I can double check, but we are running out of time. So thank you, Erik and Nima, for answering these questions, and thank you for the presentation. It has been great. But before everybody goes, I want to announce that we have our next Customer Insights webinar on the 8th of March, and it's with our Brazilian partners, so it's going to be on a different time than we usually have our webinars. So yes, we're looking forward to that. Please join. You will receive an invitation later on. So yes, thank you all for joining today's webinar, and thank you, Erik and Nima, for this great presentation. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us at Solibri, or then contact Plan B, Erik or Nima. Yes, I hope you have a great rest of the day, and see you later on the 8th of March. Bye-bye.
Thank you.